The Truth with G.
Yeah, you are now tuned into The Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G. All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham, also known as G. Once again, we are back to talk about these issues that affect your household every single day and your community. So we are back to talk about them. It is Monday, the start of the week, the beginning of the week. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Weekend wasn't long, as I tell you. I went to work Friday, got off work Friday, went to sleep, woke up, and now it's Monday. Trying to understand how that works. But yeah, hope you had a great weekend. Temperatures are cool in Pensacola right now. It's been cool for the last few days. Actually, the whole spring break, things were kind of cooled off for the Escambia County kids. I don't know about Santa Rosa and Okaloosa County if they was on spring break at the same time, but the weather kind of cooled off. It does that every year. I don't know why people are surprised, because it does it every single year. 2 times I can count on for the weather to cool off. That's the week of the fair in October and spring break when the kids are out of school. Without fail, every single year after year, it cools off on those 2 weeks. So I don't know why people were surprised. You know, it happens. But anyway, I want to thank you for tuning in once again right here on WPMM Internet Radio. Looks like we have Ms. Rivers join us on Facebook. Good to see you, Ms. Rivers. Hope all is well with you. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. We are WPMM Internet Radio, where we play more music. We play the best R&B, jazz, talk, neo, soul, independent, hip-hop, and old school music. You can listen to from the website at WPMMradio.com. You can tune in to iTunes Radio, but also on Alexa. Tell Alexa to play WPMM. She will oblige as well. You can also download the app from the Google Play Store and Apple Store. Free app. You can go to the website as well and download that app. WPMMradio.com. On any mobile device, phone, tablet, computer, what have you, anything that you stream on, you can get WPMM. We're also live on Facebook and Twitter as well. We're also on Twitch. And one of these days, I'm going to find out what Twitch is, but we're on there. We are on there. So, but once again, it's good to see you on. Again, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. Also, if you have someone that's trying to listen to the show that may not have Facebook, that may not have the app or whatever, just text them, WPMMradio.com. Put that in the message field. All they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can enjoy the show as well. So, but yeah, we're back. It is Monday. It's been an interesting weekend. The news that came out over the weekend, we're going to talk about that today regarding the Orange Idiot. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about the shenanigans of DeSantis and what they're trying to do to our universities, state universities, in regards to the not HBCUs, but the sororities and fraternities. They are with that BS. They are with that BS. So we're going to talk about that as well. And if you if you're out there and you are with a fraternity or a sorority, throw your comment in the comment section, and we'll try to get you on if you want to join in the conversation when we get to that part of the show. Because I want to hear from people that are currently in a fraternity or sorority to get their take on what DeSantis is trying to do. Actually, and also Alex Andrade, he's our state representative for this area. He's in on it as well. He supports this bill that's being proposed. So he done pissed me off. Mr. Andrade done pissed me off, and I need him to come talk to me because I need to find out why he You know how people act like they like black people, and then they turn around and do some stupid stuff. Alex Andrade. Alex Andrade. He played the fool. He played the role, and he tried to instigate, or he tried to fit in with the black community, and then he turned around and joined the right wing in their racist agenda. So, Mr. Alex Andrade, I need you to talk to me. So, anyway, the views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the opinion or policy of or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to malign with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Again, have to read that disclaimer just to let people know if you try to sue, don't sue WPMM. You can sue me, but you can't sue me for telling the truth. And if you do sue and win, still have 17 cents in the jelly jar. 17 cents in the jelly jar is all I got for you. So, but just a moment here, I think we're going to be able to bring a guest in. Mr. Adams is going to join us here in just a few moments. Going to bring him in as well. Also, may have someone else joining tonight. I'm not sure about that just quite yet, but we'll see how that goes. Mr. Pugh has joined us as well. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and let me know you're out there. Hit a heart, a thumbs up, or do something. Jump up and down, scream your name 3 times, whatever the case may be. Let me know you're out there because we need people listening to this information because, we got a whole lot of tomfoolery going on around here, especially Mr. Alex Andrade. I need to talk to him. I promise you, Commissioner May, if you can get a message to Mr. Alex Andrade to contact me, please do, because I need to talk to him about his flip flop. He definitely has flip flopped on us, where he act like he like black people. You know how white people smile in black people's face like they like them, and then do dirt behind their back. That's Mr. Andrade. So if nobody else call him out, I'm gonna call him out. But anyway, Mr. Davis has joined us as well. He has joined us, and we're going to start out this show. It looks like I have Mr. Adams in the waiting room, so we're actually going to start out the show. We're going to a couple of topics that I wanted to tackle tonight is the issue with Trump maybe going to jail. He made the call. He made his own call saying that he might be going to jail. So it's not that somebody else has spilled the beans. He said it himself. Nobody else was talking about it, hadn't been reported. And he came out Saturday on his right-wing website, Truth Social, what it's called, and said that he'll be arrested on Tuesday. I hope that's the case, but we'll see. We're going to talk about that first. And then we're going to talk about House Bill 999. That's the House bill that is the language in the bill will basically get rid of sororities and fraternities, particularly black sororities and fraternities across the state of Florida. Even though the language, you have to read the language. So y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. I'm a little bit under the weather tonight. A little bit under the weather, but I was gonna come on and do what I got to do. The House Republicans are threatening the New York DA. Yeah, that's Mr. Pugh. It's so much going on. It's so much corruption going on. It just don't make no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. Looks like we should be bringing my guest in. Bringing my guest in today. You guys know who he is. He's been on. It seems like he's becoming somewhat of a permanent fixture on the show. Have Mr. John Adams on. What's going on, Mr. Adams?
Hey, gee, I can't call it, man. I'm just sitting here thinking about Trump going down finally. Looked into my cigar box, pulled out this It's nice, big, fat bottom Betty. I tell you,
So
boy, if he gets indicted tomorrow, I think I'm gonna fire this bad boy up.
so that's your celebratory cigar.
Yeah, it's my celebratory one, man. I got one for you if you want one, man. We can
Hey,
we can we can sit out and smoke one together, man.
I can't smoke it, but I'll hold on to it.
Why
But
you can't smoke it, man?
I don't do cigars.
Oh man, come on now.
I don't do cigars. I don't do cigarettes. I don't do
Ice,
cigar
ice,
weed.
cigarweed, cigarillos.
I don't do any of that stuff. And I can't even sit down and have a drink with you because I don't drink it. I don't drink either. So I have a
Yeah.
Diet Coke, a glass of water with you.
All
But
right, I
yeah,
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Yes,
but
indeed, man.
let me change up. I'm gonna see if I can change it. Bring it in just a little bit closer.
There we go.
There
There we
he
go.
is. There we go. All right, we got you in a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Pugh. I appreciate that. I tell you, when I tell people I don't smoke, drink, or do anything, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm 55 years old. I experimented with alcohol one time. I was 14. I experimented with weed one time. I was 14, and haven't touched it since then because it's my choice. I just choose not to do it. I don't put down anybody that does. It's just my choice not to do it. I just choose to always keep a clear head. Um, and
Ain't nothing
I
wrong with
don't
that. Ain't nothing wrong
and
with
I
that.
and I try not to touch anything that alters my ability to think. Let me tell you a quick story. Let me tell you a quick story about that, and then we're gonna move on. Uh, this was actually over the Christmas holidays. I was talking to my son, and I was telling him, I was having problems sleeping through the night. I could go to sleep, but I would wake up on any little small sound. I would hear it, and I wake up, and I was, it's a curse. It's good, but it's a curse that you can't sleep because I hear everything. And we was having a conversation that night, and he was like, "Well, Dad, you should take your melatonin." They go to bed, and I was like, not sure about that one or whatever. And finally, I said, okay, I got to work in the morning. I'm trying to get me a decent night's sleep tonight. Take a melatonin. But anyway, later on that night, he rode out, and there was an issue with his vehicle, and he was calling the house. Well, he was calling my cell phone, and normally my cell phone sits right by my bed. If a text message come through, I would hear it. If a phone call come through, I would hear it, even if it's on vibrate. It don't have to be on the ringer. I would hear it. And that night, he called me 6, 8 times that night, and I did not hear that phone. Um, and my wife ended up taking the call and went, handle business for it, whatever the case may be. And I said from that date on, I would never ever take another melatonin because, again, I don't like anything. I don't like taking anything that alters my brain. So my melatonin days are over. I tried it one time. It didn't work out like I thought it would. I mean, it worked out. It kept me asleep, but I need to be aware of what's going on around me. So, my
Yeah.
son could have been in a bad predicament. Well, I mean, he was in somewhat of a bad predicament, but it wasn't life threatening or anything of that nature. Just an issue with his vehicle. And my wife, when she found out that I took that melatonin, she told my son. She said he'll never take one of those again, and she is exactly right. But anyway, just a little history on my hesitance to take anything that alters my brain. But Mr. John, here we are on the cusp of history.
Mm-hmm.
This would go beyond Watergate. Um, it would go beyond. Um, who was the other one that ran off before
Bill
he?
Clinton. Well, Bill Clinton
Well,
with Monica Lewinsky.
well that was that was just impeachment. This wasn't a criminal.
Right.
That wasn't a
Right.
criminal case. I did. For all you young folks, close your ears for a second, because I'm gonna say something about Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton ran the country and ran it well, And I ain't mad at him for getting a blowjob. I ain't mad at him at all. But the Republicans wanted to impeach him because he got a blowjob. But they'll keep Gates.
Remember the cigar you threw with him?
Hey, he deserved to be a little freaky. He had a surplus going on to where he had extra money in the budget. I mean, the economy was good. I mean, he ran this country. But he,
chicken and collard greens in everybody's refrigerator.
Yeah, but he got caught doing something that was maybe a little immoral, but it wasn't illegal. And they tried to run him out of town, but you got Matt Gaetz and Trump that's being accused of rape and child rape and everything else, but that's okay.
Well, Bill Clinton, reason he had to go to impeachment because of he lied under oath. That's why he did it. And the only reason he lied under oath, he was just like a married man. He's trying to not let his wife find out about what he was doing.
Right. Yeah, you can't tell your wife you got a blowjob at work.
No, she's supposed to be doing it. She right in the same building.
Yeah. Hey, but
Chris Rock said that.
Hey, apparently she wasn't doing what she needed to do. So Monica said, "I'll take over. I got you. Tag, I'm in."
Stupid.
But anyway,
come on,
Trump
is keep it PG-13 now.
Hey, this the truth with G. We talk about the real over here. We talk about the real. But Mr. Pugh put President Nixon in the comments. Like I say, Nixon went to the point to where he was just going to be impeached. He was never in jeopardy of being brought up on charges and indicted outside of the presidency. So he was just
because he knew when to quit. See, Nixon knew that he was going to be impeached and found guilty of the crimes. He knew it, and they warned him about it. Said, "Listen, if you don't want to be impeached and found guilty, you got to resign." And that's why Nixon resigned. Okay,
right.
That's why he resigned, because he knew he was going down. He was going down.
So, but we have the orange idiot. If you don't know what happened over the weekend, the orange idiot came out of Truth Social. He can't even say it, and it's his own platform. But he came out on Truth Social and announced that he would be arrested on Tuesday, and he also announced for his dumbass followers, all of the MAGA idiots, to protest. Which, how dumb can you be? He's been investigated for inciting a riot with the January 6th. Now, how dumb can you be to go and do the same thing over again while you are under investigation? That's just stupid.
He's Trump. He could do that.
And it's even more stupid that we had these dumbasses out here that support him.
That's what I don't understand. What is so special about Donald Trump? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is so special about him? You have worthy opponents out there, even DeSantis, even Nikki Haley. At least they're Republicans, and they're not even going against Donald Trump. I mean, what is it about this cat who went bankrupt 6 times, got 5 kids by 3 baby mamas? Okay, nobody would give him credit to buy a daggone licorice stick, and yet they love this guy. He ran the country into the hole. Okay, everybody got COVID because of him. Yeah, racist.
He's a racist, and he's a rapist.
Yeah, but they love this guy. Listen, we love Barack Obama. Trust and believe. We love Barack Obama, and we felt that he was a great president. But ain't nobody trying to give Barack Obama a 3rd term because they know we can't do it. We ain't trying to protest, get Barack Obama this, that, and the other. They love. What is up with Donald Trump? I just don't get it.
Well, the one thing that I give Trump credit for, and I don't give him credit for much. Mm-hmm. The only thing I can give him credit for, he has the ability to make people around him as stupid as he is, and make them follow him. It's like a cult.
Truly, truly.
I mean, I don't understand how what would be no regularly intelligent people, how they succumb to an idiot. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. Just something this small, and we're talking 2 letters. He got all these smart people, these college educated people, these lawyers and whatever that's on the Republican side of the aisle.
Right.
He got them to change the language that has been in place for 200 plus years when we talk about the Democratic Party. Those 2 letters, IC, at the end of Democrat. For 240 plus years, has been the Democratic Party, or that those 2 letters follow the word Democrat. But because he stood his orange behind up on the podium and he started using the word incorrectly and saying Democrat Party, all them smart, would normally be smart people, started saying the same exact thing, even though they know it was grammatically incorrect, but they stupid enough to change it and use the same idiot logic and philosophy that he uses in just that one word. So that's the only thing I give him credit for. He got the credit. He got the ability to make smart people stupid. And I don't, that's not a good trait to have.
No, it's not.
But I wish I can get, I wish I can get people to follow me like that. Just whatever I say, people just believe, just for the sake of believing it. But that's the only thing I can credit him for. But you see everybody around him, they're stupid enough. They're stupid enough to go to jail for. Excuse me. They're stupid enough to go to jail for him. Michael Cohen had to get to a point to where he was sentenced and served time and still serving time before he got smart and said, why am I doing this time by myself, and I wasn't the architect of the crime. But now his credibility is somewhat shot, which I personally believe he's finally telling the truth. But because he lied for Trump for so long, that damaged his credibility.
And he lost his law license.
Right. And look at these other lawyers around him that's in the same predicament where they're about to lose their law license, trying to cover up for the orange idiot.
Well, a lot of them ain't going but so far, because a lot of them with this whole the documents and the classified document scandal, they're only going right to the edge. Because when the judge was like, "Will you guarantee it?" They're like, "No, I can't guarantee he ain't got no more there. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say he doesn't, and y'all find he does. Now I'm lying to the court, and I lose my license." They're only going just enough to say, no.
I know that one lawyer, the female lawyer, and I can't think of her name right now. The female lawyer, she signed off saying that there was no more documents, that everything that Trump had was turned over. She signed her name to that document saying that there was nothing else there.
She better be really, really sure.
Right. She's no. They already found out. This was before they went back in and found another set of boxes of documents. She signed off on the first time that they went in.
And she in trouble.
Yeah. So, you got her, you got Giuliani, who's an idiot, who's a senile idiot that put his license on the line.
He lost his license. His license gone. He lost his license.
Right. There's at least, and I can't. If I know we was talking about this today, I would have got the names. There's about 5 or 6 lawyers right now, Donald Trump lawyers, that are looking at possibly losing their license. And one of them is caught up. Dang it, I wish I knew their names. But anyway, Mr. Pugh put in the comments, fear will make people do stupid things. Yeah, fear will make people do stupid things, but all these followers, these 70 million people that voted for him, the only thing they feared was a black planet. They didn't want black people to take over. So they did, they made sure they voted for someone who stood up for their racist beliefs, and they voted for Trump. And that's 70 million of them, and that's a scary number to look at. And that was one of the highest vote totals in the history of any election in the United States. Thank God Biden got 73 million, but 70 plus million people voted for this idiot. And out of that 70 million, he's probably still holding on to 75% of those people. So, but Mr. John, on as far as I was gonna read the story that came out on that, but I'm just gonna give you the gist of it. It's so much. It's so much.
Yeah.
But anyway, over the weekend on True Social, Trump came out and said that he was going to be arrested on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, and that he's calling for his people to protest. Then we have Speaker McCarthy, that's defending this action. McCarthy said Kevin McCarthy. He's the leader of the House right now. He's the majority leader, or the Speaker of the House, if you will. But he said any potential indictment of former president would represent an outrageous abuse of power from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. What kind of bullshit is that?
McCarthy is basically his House speakership is contingent on one vote. If one person does not like what McCarthy says, then he can call for a vote to remove McCarthy. So I'm saying, like, if he says something Matt Gaetz don't like, if Matt Gaetz really gets mad at him, Matt Gaetz can say, I'm calling for a vote under the rules of the House to remove the sitting speaker, and we got to have a vote all over again. Remember, because all that stuff they had to go through, and McCarthy made all these concessions. That was one of them. It takes one person. So he's trying to, anytime he doesn't want to upset the apple cart, basically. So
yeah, because it was on the 14th vote before they actually solidified his speakership.
And the only reason he got it is because four people voted present and didn't vote either way for somebody else. They just said they were there. They didn't cast a vote. So
yeah, Matt Gaetz, Boebert, and idiot Marjorie Trailer Park Green.
No, she voted. She was with McCarthy.
That's right. It was Boebert and
Gaetz, and with somebody else. I can't remember who it was.
It was two other ones. It was two other ones. Was it Gosart?
I think it was Paul Gosar. Yeah, that does sound familiar. Because he had people here in Escambia County going, man, we didn't send Matt Gaetz up there to do that. I had called and talked to Tanner Stewart and did an interview with Tanner Stewart, but he never put it on TV. So, I was like, really? I mean, this is jeopardizing national security. We don't have we can't go to war. We got Congress. So it's one of those things, man.
So there was supposed to have been a final witness that testified today before the grand jury. Before they wrapped up testimony in regards to the grand jury. And then that's when the grand jury is supposed to deliberate. Not keep in mind now, the grand jury is not there to say someone committed a crime. The grand jury is there to say that there's
enough
evidence.
evidence.
There's enough evidence to bring someone to trial to determine if an actual crime has been committed.
Right.
So it's not just because they've been indicted. That don't mean they've been found guilty of anything. It's just saying that there's sufficient enough evidence to bring it before a jury and before a judge and a jury. But this information, if you go back last week, the news cycle wasn't talking about a potential indictment this week. Nobody was saying anything until the orange idiot came out and said, "I'm going to jail Tuesday," which makes me believe. And then you tell me if you think I'm thinking wrong. Let me know, Mr. John. For him to come out and put that statement out there, I believe that there had to be some talks between his lawyers and the prosecution office there in New York that says, okay, it looks like he will be indicted. We need to get a plan of action for him to surrender. Again, and with the prosecution didn't talk to the media about this. They didn't talk to anybody else about this. They kept it within themselves. And then Trump is the one that came out and spilled the beans, just like he did with the Mar-a-Lago when they came and searched Mar-a-Lago. That the news media didn't put that out. Trump put that out. So what's your thoughts on that one, John?
There's something to it, and I'll tell you something else. There's something to it. NYPD is stepping up security all around New York City, especially around Trump Tower, because of protests and everything else. If they didn't think nothing of it, I think that the U.S. the attorney's office, called the police commissioner, hey, yeah, we're going to indict him, but don't say nothing. That's why they're putting up cameras and increasing security around Trump Tower, and him coming out saying this. Yeah, I think there's something to it. He probably will be. He probably will be doing. I want to see him do a perp walk. I really do.
Yeah, it's definite. They definitely had meetings in regards to security wise, how they're going to handle this process and any aftermath of it. So that's been reported, and my sources that I'd looked at to see that kind of verified that. So I'm just not making that up. So there has been meetings on that.
There again. There's again the difference between him and Nixon. Nixon loved the country. He was a crook, but he loved America. He didn't want to do anything that was going. He didn't want to show that he was going to damage America's reputation by being impeached and being indicted and all that kind of stuff. So he stepped down. Trump doesn't care nobody but nothing else but Trump. As long as people are talking about him, as long as he's got the media coverage, and like he says, well, not him, but people have said, any press is good press because they're talking about you. They got your name in the paper. They got your name on TV. And he loves this. And he doesn't care anything about this country. He cares about Donald J. Trump. That's it. And what I'm trying to figure out too is I always wonder how in the world this man right now is living on a beach house in South Florida. I mean, a resort. He lives there. That's his house. Where the people that love him, who live in, trailer parks with blue roofs on because the storm done tore them off. They ain't got the money to fix the roof on a trailer, and they ain't got adequate plumbing. But he goes takes a crap on a gold plated toilet. You think this man cares about you? No, he doesn't care about you. He cares about your vote and what he can get out of you and what you can do for him. He ain't gonna do nothing for you, but yet y'all still love this man. I just don't get it.
I can say he's a cult leader. He's a cult leader, and he goes along with David.
So is Jim
David
Jones.
Koresh.
So is Jim Jones. But at least Jim Jones gave him some flavor aid.
Right.
I mean,
I mean, it's along those lines. David Koresh, Jim Jones, uh,
yeah.
Charles Manson. He fits into that mold of being a person that could get what would normally be intelligent people to be stupid.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that's
bro.
that's his gift.
Yeah,
People
that
would
is his
people
gift.
would people would put their life on the line. They would put their livelihood on the line, their reputation on the line
Mm-hmm.
to protect this idiot.
Yep.
And 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 in regards to all the court cases that's going on, he before he was in office is always, oh, the only the mob take the fifth. If you're not guilty, why are you taking the fifth?
Taking the
And this,
fifth.
that, and the
Yeah.
other. This dude has not volunteered, or I don't know why they're using that word volunteer, but he has not testified in anything, has not said anything. Uh, even this latest, I've never heard somebody getting an invitation to come before a grand jury or a committee, but they use the word invitation. It's a subpoena. If you're a subpoena, you show up or you go to jail.
That's
I mean,
true.
it shouldn't be no gray area, but in this administration, it has proved that that's not the case. There's some privilege going on somewhere.
Well,
There's definitely some privilege going on somewhere.
he is
Um,
he is a former president, so that's probably what they're looking at too.
well,
So,
there's no one above the law.
law exactly.
There's
Supposedly,
no one above the law.
that's where it's written.
Uh,
Supposedly.
and that Mr. Pugh said they would do anything to keep blacks down. Also, he's facing his legal issues in Georgia. The GOP in Georgia is, and I'm going off my dome right now. The GOP in Georgia is trying to construct a bill to where they can remove the district attorneys, um, because they want to. I know I'm paraphrasing. I'm just making it plain and simple as to what they're trying to do. They're trying to change the law since they can't stop Miss Fannie. What's Fannie last name? The district attorney there
Right.
in Fulton
In
County.
Atlanta. Yeah,
Fannie, dang it, I forgot her last name.
I did too. I know you're talking about. Well, she's in Atlanta. Um, Cobb County. It's Cobb County or um,
I think it's Fulton County.
Fulton County. Fulton County, right?
Yeah, but yeah, they the GOP is actually trying to pass a bill to where they can remove a DA based on the fact that Trump it will more than likely be brought up on charges and indicted in Georgia, and that's some bull crap. I mean, this is what I mean by what should be intelligent people showing stupidity to protect an idiot. And also,
Yep.
John, you know that the trial, and I didn't even the trial. He has two trials coming up in the rape of the young lady back in the '90s. He was trying to get the trial. First, he was trying to fight the trial to where the trial would not happen. The trial is a civil trial. It's not a criminal trial because
Right.
the
Civil.
statute of limitations has ran
Limitations.
out on that particular case. But now he's being sued civilly for the rape
Mm-hmm.
of somebody listening. Just Google rape, Trump rape case, and somebody put the name of the young lady in there. She's not trying to hide her name or anything. She's out public. So, um, but yeah, he was trying to get because he's being sued for the rape and he's being sued for defamation, and he was trying to get it to be one trial together. First, he was trying to keep it out of the courts altogether. He lost that, and the judge said, "Nope, you can go on, and you can this case can go forward." Then he was trying to get it to where it was in one trial, but it's going to be separated, and it's going to stay separated. Where it's two separate trials, one for the prosecution of the rape, and one for the defamation, because he doesn't call this lady a liar and this, that, and other, and has damaged her reputation in her coming forward to actually show what type of piece of crap that this man is. But we still have people to follow him. So within the next, this trial starts next month. It starts in April. And even with that, we still have people.
I got something here. Trump rape case, a judge postponed one of E. Jean Carroll's defamation claims against the former president. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, that sounds like an old article though. But that's what's her name? Last name Carroll. E.G.
Yeah, E. Jean Carroll. Yeah.
E. Jean Carroll. That's her name. But that sounds like an older article, because it just came out that they will have two separate trials.
Sure.
But E. Jean Carroll is her name. But she is one of the people who there's 20 plus women who have accused Trump of rape or sexual assault.
What about this one? This one says lawsuit according to lawsuits accusing Trump of raping a 13-year-old girl reemerges in light of defamation lawsuit.
Oh, I did not know that. And let me tell you why I'm surprised. Because that case kind of went away, and I never understood why that case went away.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually, I truly believe that Trump is in the mob, but that case was looming, and it just all of a sudden went away. The rape of that 13-year-old girl.
I'm trying to find a date on this thing. I don't see a date.
But I'm going to research that one, because I want to find out what's going on with that, because I never understood why that case just kind of disappeared. I'm pretty sure there's, how you say follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
That you either follow the money or you follow the threats. So in lieu of everything else that's going on, that's why this person probably felt, since E. Jean Carroll went forward, she probably felt that, I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of being scared. I'm going to tell my story. But yeah, that's the case that just mysteriously just disappeared.
Yeah, that was with all the Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
So, and it's strange that Epstein just mysteriously was found dead in the cell when he was supposed to be on suicide watch. How do you take somebody off suicide watch when they still threatening suicide?
Good question.
So I don't put anything past Trump. I think there's some bodies out there that's unaccounted for that has Trump name attached to it. That's just my opinion. I can't prove that at the moment, but every now and then I give my opinion. So I have a question, John.
What's that, man?
Y'all excuse me. Do you think that this the fact that he's going to, according to him, he's going to be indicted in New York for the payment to a porn star to keep her mouth shut right before the 2016 election.
An ugly porn star, but go ahead.
And the fact that he is being on a civil trial for rape and defamation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that will make a difference in his followers? Do you think that they will care?
No, they're gonna come out stronger because they're gonna think that the country's turned against their leader, so they're gonna come out even stronger, man. That's what's gonna happen.
So do you think
his numbers are gonna increase in the polls?
So do you think women? Do you think he's going to capture the hearts of more women, or hold on to the women that are voting for him?
We heard him when him and Billy Bush was on that bus. Now, you guys, think about the tape. I'm gonna be truthful here. Trump didn't say grab him by the pussy. Trump didn't say that. Billy Bush said that. But what Trump did was agree with Billy Bush. Billy Bush, he said you kiss on him, do everything you want to, and Billy Bush said grab him by the pussy. Trump said, yeah, if they let you. So he didn't really say the word. Billy Bush said the word. Billy Bush said the word.
I thought it was the opposite. I have to go back and listen to it, but I thought it was the opposite.
I thought he said he was like, they let you kiss on him, and because he was throwing TikToks in his mouth. Yeah, you're a celebrity, let you kiss on him and all that kind of stuff. And Billy Bush said you can grab him by the pussy, and Trump said, yeah, if they let you. But still,
I have to go back.
The gist was there. The gist was there. So,
but the strange part about that whole situation, Billy Bush got fired and Trump got elected president.
Billy Bush got another job too. So.
Yeah, but he was fired because of what he said. But
that's true.
Trump was rewarded by being the first known rapist and racist to be in the White House. Mm-hmm. Well, he ain't the first known rapist because we had a bunch of these presidents that was raping our women back in the day that served as president. But we ain't gonna get on that today.
Mm-hmm.
I say that for Juneteenth. But I'm just kind of blown away in regards to the reaction to this whole situation. A lot of the people that are talking about this situation, particularly the media and the political experts, if you will, they are claiming that this will help his campaign, that this will solidify his base and it will grow his base. And I just can't understand that. Good evening, Miss Renee. Good evening. Good to see you. Good to see you tonight, Miss Renee. I want to talk to a Trump supporter, particularly a female Trump supporter. That's who I really want to talk to. And I've put out there many a times to where I have asked for a Republican.
Breaking news tonight. Comments from Donald Trump that are even drawing fire from
can you hear that, Gerald?
Party. An open microphone caught Trump making vulgar comments about women in 2005 and a recording obtained by the Washington Post.
And Denver 7 political reporter Marshall Zellinger is here with what was said by Trump and how he is now responding, Marshall.
And Shannon, what you're seeing here is from a 2005 recording for Access Hollywood. Donald Trump is already mic'd up in this bus with host Billy Bush to report a segment about Trump appearing on a soap opera. This is just months after marrying his current wife, Melania. The audio we're about to play for you was recorded just before this moment when they meet up with their soap star.
She's your girl's hottie. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case they start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Right on your way. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab by the...
Yeah, he said it. Okay.
See, that's Trump said
it.
it.
Yeah, he said it. You're right. You're right.
It reads,
You're
this
right.
was locker room banter, a private conversation.
So yeah, I mean, but that didn't.
I'm stand corrected. I thought it was Billy Bush saying it. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. But anyway,
But like I say, Billy Bush got fired because of what Trump did, and Trump went on to win the presidency. Just like all these other people that done fallen prey to Trump, where they lose their livelihood and their jobs and their reputations, and he just keep strolling on along. But I'm hoping that this situation, even though this case in New York is not the most severe in regards to the campaign funds, it can result in some prison time.
If only if the DA bumps up the charges. Right now it's a misdemeanor from what they were saying. The DA would have to bump the charges to a felony. So that's where it gets tricky. Because
the campaign finance charge is a felony. It can't be it's going to be a felony if
they can prove it came out of campaign funds. Right now he's just saying hush money. They're not saying it's out of, well, they are saying it, but they also say if the DA goes federal with this on the campaign funds, now that's a felony. So, but then you also got to look at it too. They're saying that the case is not that strong because their star witness is a convicted felon.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Michael Cohen is
Michael Cohen.
Is the star. However, I did see today where Michael Cohen is providing documents.
Yeah.
Michael Cohen can lie, but unless the documents that's going to tell the truth.
But he went in front of Congress and said the same thing, and they still didn't do nothing.
So, but he's supposed to be providing all these documents to verify his claims, and Michael Cohen is like, damn it, I almost made a reference to the church. Don't let me go there, Mr. John. Don't let me go there.
You always on the preachers, man. I don't know,
Michael Cohen know where all the bodies are buried.
Of course.
And I understand they look at people's credibility. But I just refuse to believe that if somebody told a lie in the past, they can't tell the truth today. I refuse to believe that. Because I know I done told a lot of lies in the past.
But like you said, how you gonna believe you were lying then? How we know you ain't lying now?
Hey, but that's the thing. I'll admit I done told a lot of lies in my past days.
You ain't lying.
But nowadays I can't say that I just completely zero lies because what they call little white lies.
Yeah, to be honest with you, telling lies how I got my child here, so you know how that go.
Yeah. But I may still tell little white, what they call little white lies from time to time, just to appease somebody or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, I'm at the point where I'm too old to lie because I can't remember the lie told. So that's why I got to a point in my life. To where I said that lying is just not worth the headache. It's just not. And when I got to that point in my life, and I was probably.
But see what
I was probably mid 30s.
But my thing with Cohen is this: Michael Cohen, if he'd have kept his mouth shut, if he wanted to keep lying and kept his mouth shut, then he knew he'd have been pardoned. But the problem is, and that's what they got to understand. Say, listen, the man's got to be telling the truth, because he had to come here. He could have just kept his mouth shut against Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would have pardoned him. But he went against the man that could have saved his life. So we got to take his word as face value. He got to be telling the truth.
Right. Like I said, I don't think just because you told a lie in the past that you're telling a lie now. Right. And if you listen to Michael Cohen, and if you listen to how he talks about Trump, he is literally standing up to Trump. He is doing and saying everything that everybody around Donald Trump should be doing and saying. Mm-hmm. Because everybody around Donald Trump done lied about anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And Michael Cohen is one of the first people that done said, okay, it's time to cut the bullshit. I done lost my livelihood. I done lost everything behind this idiot, keeping secrets for this idiot. Why am I doing this? I done hit rock bottom. My law license gone. I done went to jail. Why am I still covering for this idiot? Why am I doing time and this idiot still out here walking around?
Good point.
But at the same time, like I say, he is providing documents. He is providing documents to, even if you don't want to believe him, if he's providing receipts, I can sit and say I didn't go to Walmart and buy ground beef. I can sit and say that all day long. But if somebody come up and say, well, sir, here's the receipt where you bought ground beef on this day. We also have the video footage of when you walked out the store with the ground beef. Anybody can come and say, well, no, he didn't. He didn't buy ground beef. But the receipts say different. So the credibility of the person is really not an issue at that point in time, because we have receipts now. We have verification. Right. We have evidence to prove that the person that lied to Congress before, that lied to the police report, we have proof that now he's telling the truth. Mm-hmm. So, and they talked about those. I heard a little bit today about where they talked about those documents, and I think that whatever this final witness is, I think Michael Cohen might have been that final witness, even though he done testified before. They might have brought him back based on the fact that there was new documentation that done came about. So I don't know. I'm with you at this point. I want to see the perp walk. I want to see the handcuffs. And Mr. John, I don't know if I talked about this. I think I said a little bit about it yesterday. Just a second. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather today, so y'all excuse me. But I'm trying not to cough on the mic. So, but anyway, I was listening to one of the legal analysts, and I believe I was on CNN at the time. And one of these legal analysts was talking about the fact that if Donald Trump is arrested, that the judge have to look at his history in regards to what dangers he posed or what threats he posed if bail is granted. And that particular legal analyst, he was somebody that was high up in the FBI or some of that nature. I forget what his exact title was. He was saying that this judge would have to look at the fact that Donald Trump in the past has incited an insurrection. He has called for his followers to cause chaos in January 6th insurrection. And he has already done that prior to an arrest. He's doing the same thing over again. So he was saying that alone, a judge have to take a serious look at that to see if they will even grant him bail if he is arrested, because of the fact that he can, if he's out, he would have the ability on these social media sites and on these press conferences and at these rallies or whatever to incite the base to have a remix of January 6th. So he's saying the judge have to take a look at that if he is brought in to see if he's going to get bail, and if he does get bail, if does not give him bail or whatever, is he going to stay in? If he do get bail, that there will have to be very, very tight restrictions in regards to his movements, his activities on social media, speeches, things of that nature. But then they said that if you do that, then you cut into uh, uh, his First Amendment rights of freedom of speech or what have you. So the only way that you can kind of stop that is to have him locked up.
Well, I don't think they'll lock him up for this reason. He is a former president, and he has Secret Service protection. And the Secret Service main job is to keep him safe. And I don't think the Secret Service will be able to keep him safe behind, the jails at the walls at Rikers Island or where they're going to take him. So what I think they would do my thing is they would put him under house arrest, and he has Secret Service, which is a law enforcement agency. He would be on strict house arrest, and basically he would be banned from any social media, banned from any kind of having anything without anything to do with the outer world, because he doesn't run his businesses anymore. So basically, the judge can say you're in house arrest, no social media, no TikTok, no Facebook, no emails, no nothing.
Right.
You don't even get a phone call. That's just like being in jail. Because this way, Secret Service can keep him. They would probably remand him to to Trump Tower, to his house in New York, Trump Tower, where he won't have to go back to Florida. And so be it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I just hope that there's some equality in our justice system as to how they treat him versus how everybody else is treated within the justice system, particularly black people. So we know black people are treated like garbage once you enter the system, and we're going to see just how much, like I say, regardless of what your title is, we are all still human beings. And if you want to make a law for a human being, that should not a title should not have any bearing on you being a human being. So we're gonna see. And if that perp walk takes place tomorrow, you can guarantee that I'll be back on live. I don't know if I'll be on the radio or not, but at least I'll be on Facebook, and we're gonna talk about it. And I don't know. I might have to get me a cigar just to put in my mouth. I ain't gonna take the plastic off of it, and light it up, but I might have to get me a cigar and enjoy the day.
Yeah, it's a once a week thing for me, just to chill out. I just really started, so But I don't really talk about this with the school board, but our school board has to be, I don't understand them. They voted to have an appointed superintendent. The man won the job 3-2. He didn't turn like he wanted it. Now they don't want to fire him because they have to pay him. But yet you want to change the law back the way it was. I don't get that.
I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those political moves to where I personally, I have mixed feelings about it. If it should be appointed or elected position, but even if it does go back to being an elected position, I think it should have a certain criteria that you have to meet in order to run for this particular office, because we're talking about the education of our kids. It would be hard. I would not understand putting someone in that position over education who is not educated. So I would think there has to be some type of guidelines to where you have to qualify to run for that office if it goes back to an elected office. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we elect our board members.
Yeah.
So, I got mixed feelings about it. What this guy's doing now, now that my child is out of the school system, I'll be honest with you, I don't follow the school system as close as I used to because I don't have a child, and I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be doing that, regardless if my child is in school or not. I need to be up on what's going on in the school system, in the system itself. But I um, I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. I hear you.
I, I don't know who is he to blame for the issues that we have in our school system, or is he because he only been there for about 7 minutes.
I know.
So is he has he been there long enough to clean up whatever issues
No.
that it's just like a head coach. They give a head coach 3 years to try to turn the program around.
Unless you're with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, Houston, you get about 8 games in Houston.
That's it. You're out.
Yeah,
Especially you're black. But we'll see.
exactly.
We'll see. We'll see with that. That's
So
crazy.
yeah, I don't know what to that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting situation there. And I need to dive into it and get more aware of what's going on as far as what the gripe is in regards to his leadership or lack of, if you will, because
Well,
I don't know.
the basic gist is he's not doing what a couple of members want him to do, and they
Well,
don't like it, and they don't like it. So I think he's doing a good job, and he was given a mess, and the mess he's given is just something that's been festering and brewing for years and years and years in the school system, not only in Escambia County, but all schools across the country. And, you bring this man in and, hey, he can't snap his fingers and do things right. But
right,
because he wasn't elected by the people, now they think it's a wrong thing to do. It's a wrong move. But, you know, they just need to give a man a chance. Give a man a chance. Let him see what he can do. I mean, school superintendent can't control the way the kids act in school.
exactly.
Okay? The school
They can't.
superintendent can't make people come to school, can't make the students come to school. He doesn't control what they eat in school. He doesn't control you know, he's an administrative of the administrators.
Right.
Okay, and if the administrators and teachers ain't doing their job, that's where the fault lies. Not with somebody y'all hired to basically be the head of the school system. So you think about it, why do you need a school board anyway? If the funds are allocated, the funds should be allocated you know, through the county commission because it's a county organization. The county should organize that. Why you need 5 people that sometimes don't know their ass from a hole in the ground to run a school system? I don't get it.
Well, I don't see any. I don't think the school board is going to be disbanded at any point in time. I think that's
Oh, it
going to be a
won't be. Oh no,
staple.
it won't. It won't. It won't. It won't
But
be. I'm just saying. They won't. This man can't fix problems that were making years and years ago when you and I were in school.
mhm,
So you know, I said, give the man a chance, let him do what he got to do. This is what y'all wanted, and now you say you don't want it because he didn't do what y'all want him to do, the way y'all want him to
mhm,
do it, I should say. And now everybody want to get rid of him. Don't make no sense. Oh, by the way, let me just say about Alex Andrade. People can call his office in Tallahassee, or they can call his office, I guess, in Santa Rosa County, wherever his office is. They listen to those phone calls. If we flood his phone calls, flood his phone banks with our voice our opinions about this 999 thing he came about, he'd have to listen to it.
right.
Okay. You know, you send emails. I sent an email to Broxton about my disapproval with this whole thing because the Senate got a bill similar to it. You know, hadn't heard a response about it, but at least I did send it. I left Michelle Salzman. I sent her a tweet about how I felt about it. So you can do some things. Whether or not they're going to listen to it, do anything about it, that's a different story. It's just like with Matt Gaetz and Rick Scott and Marco Rubio. You can call them. They got an app called a 5 Calls app. And anything you want to talk about, sometimes the top topics of the day or whatever, they're listed on there. And you can just put your name in and read from that script, or they got the number to, Matt Gaetz' Washington, D.C. office and his office in Pensacola. You can call those numbers. I don't have them off the top of my head, but if you go download the 5 Calls app, okay, and you can call anybody you want to, and they hear those. They log them and they hear them.
Well, I plan to spend. I'll probably be off this Friday, and Friday is one of those days that I actually plan to spend trying to make contact with certain individuals. Andrade being one, dumbass DeSantis being one, Matt Gaetz being one, Marco Rubio being one. Probably spend Friday doing that because even though I want to be optimistic, but at this point in time, pessimism is going to take precedence over my optimism. We're dealing with right-wing assholes. Is what it is, and it's nothing wrong with making noise because again, nothing starts without a conversation. Without somebody saying something, nothing starts. So, but it's going to be an uphill battle dealing with these people, and the way to really deal with them is at the polls to just get them out of there to where we don't have to deal with them and get somebody in there with some common sense. And our people, and when I say our people, I'm talking about black people now. Our people got to recognize how important it is to have the right people to represent us, whether it's local government, state government, federal government. It is so important to have the right people in places because you see what's happening. You see what's happening in Florida. You see what's happening in Georgia. You see they're trying to, create a whole new system for black people in Mississippi. Just all kind of
in Jackson, I know.
Yeah, all kind of crazy stuff that the GOP is doing now, and it's because they're in position. And if black folks stand up and get to the polls like they should, even though we're a small percentage of the population, but our vote goes a long way if we show up in numbers. Our vote goes a long way. So
this is true. It's true.
But I'm gonna talk about this. It's House Bill 999. I was supposed to talk about it today, but we ain't gonna have time today. Question. I know. I know you have a member of your household that is a sorority member. Is that correct?
Of course.
Okay. I want you to get back with me and see if that sorority member would want to give an opinion on that House bill. I understand.
She ain't getting involved with that.
She won't. I understand. I understand if I understand.
We've talked personally about it, and none of the Divine Nine love it or like it either. But her sentiment is shared just like with Sean. I'm sure Sean feels the same way. So
Okay.
But yeah.
I understand. With her position, I can understand. But I had to ask the question.
Yeah, I understand. But no, she tries to stay away from politics, but politics follows her everywhere she goes. She can't help it. But but all of them feel the same way, man. And people don't understand, and now they're starting to get national recognition behind this, and they just don't understand that this is serious. And if it passes, if it goes in committee, comes out of committee and goes to the House floor, and they vote on the House floor. It goes to the Senate, Florida Senate. Florida Senate got a bill just similar to it that's mirroring it. They put the two together, and it's passed in the Senate and the House. DeSantis will sign it, and there you go.
I mean, I think it gets struck down in the courts, but it was still.
Which court?
I think
you tell me what court gonna get struck down in.
Well, just like this just like his anti-woke bill. That bill just suffered a defeat today. I didn't have time to read the particulars on it, but
I didn't hear about that. It did.
It suffered a defeat in the courts today. I didn't have time to read all of it. But yeah, it was something happened today in the courts, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but something happened today in the courts. So hold on, let me see. Just give me just a second. I know I'm going over time here, but I want to see if I have something on it. And I had just saw it right before I came on the air, so I didn't have time to read it.
DeSantis will bill. You heard about the other ban? You heard about the other ban they want to do?
The abortion ban?
Make it illegal for girls to talk about their periods.
Oh yeah, it's all kind of dumb stuff. Even the abortion ban, he's trying to drop it down to 6 weeks on the abortion ban.
Let me see.
The headline says a federal court has just denied an attempt to block an injunction issued against Governor Ron DeSantis' flagship Stop Woke Act, which prevents.
Federal appeal leaves. Federal appeal court leaves DeSantis and that woke law blocked in Florida public colleges.
So I like I said, I hadn't read all the particulars. I need to get into that one to see exactly what they're saying.
But you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna take it to the Supreme Court.
No, I'm sure he will. He ain't gonna give up. He ain't gonna give up on it. I already know that. He can't give up on it, because if he does, he's letting down the races that follow him. So he can't do that if he give up on it. So he can't do it. Just like he couldn't give up on the fact that he was trying to stop convicted felons to get their rights back to vote. He couldn't give up on it because he would be giving in to black people, and his base is not going to like that. So I got some catching up to do. I know I'm going to be busy the next couple of days, but I'm going to try to catch up on everything that I can. Coming back on Thursday night, probably be talking about this HB 999 bill. Just putting it out there now on Thursday night. If anybody out there that is a part of, I don't know all the sorority and fraternity lingo, but whoever the Divine Nine is, if you're a part of the sorority of a predominantly black sorority, if you will, I don't think any of sororities prohibit anybody of color or non-color, if you will, to join. But I know it's a lot of the organizations are predominantly black members. But anybody out there that want to speak on this issue, Thursday night I'll be talking about it. Just hit me up, either inbox me or text or email me at thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. Again, thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. Let me know if you want to come and say something in regards to this HB 999 bill that dumbass DeSantis and people like Alex Andrade is pushing to further oppress black people by attacking the colleges. The language in this bill, it doesn't say we're shutting down black sororities. It doesn't say that. But the language in this bill, you have to read it to see that it's going to affect anyone who supports these sororities. It's going to cut funding to colleges that that have these sororities or whatever. So they can't come out and say that would be way too racist for them to come out and say we just don't want black people on campus. They have to word it to where it sounds politically correct. But again, they're trying to make it difficult for these sororities to exist and force them out of existence.
They're gonna make it harder for HBCUs to exist. See,
right.
that one congresswoman, I forgot her name. She was the architect of that bill that Trump signed the law that gave HBCUs extra funding while he was a few years ago. But see, if a DeSantis gets in there, he can repeal that funding. Okay, they could take that funding and see now. Basically, that will start being the demise of HBCUs. From what I've understood for a long time, that Florida State has been wanting to get a hold of Florida A&M for a long time because of that, because of their pharmacy program. It's the best in the country. They want that, and so it's a tough road to hoe, man. When you got only 13, you only got 13 Democratic state representatives, state level in the whole state house down there, and the rest are Republicans because they finagled and redistricted a lot of them. They took away 10 Democratic state representative votes when they redistricted. So,
and they still was trying to redistrict. DeSantis drew his own redistricting plan to try to do it, take away more. Even though luckily he ended up losing that in the courts.
Yeah, they got cut down. Yeah, but I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm going to give you something to eat. You know how you always say that if you're a Republican, you're a racist. How's your saying go about being a racist? But I'm gonna say this, not about Republicans. I'm gonna say this about gang members. If you're a gang member and you're out here killing and stealing, selling drugs against your mama's will, then you hate your mama. Mic drop. Because ain't no man want to see their mama cry.
Right.
If you want to see your mama cry, you hate your mama to be involved in the game. Mic drop.
Message, Republicans.
Yep.
But anyway, but I think you talking about it. I'm not gonna say all Republicans are racist, but most racists are Republicans.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah. So we'll leave it with that. We'll leave it at that.
Yep.
All right, Mr. John, I want to thank you once again for joining me this evening. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Like I said, we'll be back on Thursday night, probably talking about this House Bill 999. Again, the invite for anyone who is a part of a sorority, a fraternity, to lend their voice. That's an open invitation. I'll be posting that on my Facebook page here, to where you can contact me if you want to join in on that conversation. So it's a conversation that need to be had. It can have a definite effect on our institutions across the state of Florida, whether they be HBCUs or any of our state universities, to where, if you don't have diversity and inclusion and what have you on these college campuses, we're going to be wiped off the face of the earth. So,
and if you're not woke, you sleep. And I ain't trying to sleep.
Exactly. So, all right, Mr. John, I appreciate you.
All right, peace, man.
Go ahead and get you a beverage and something to eat. We'll talk at you.
Yeah. All right, man. Nice to be with you in the knockoff studio tonight. Okay.
The knockoff studio worked well for you tonight.
It did. So some girls walk around with knockoff Fendi bags, but you can't tell the difference.
All right, Mr. John. You take it easy, man.
All right, man. Be cool.
All right.
Peace. Yeah.
All right. We're about to wrap this thing up. I want to thank Mr. John for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate him being on the show tonight. Again, we're going to be back on Thursday Going to be back on Thursday night, 6 o'clock p.m., talking about this Bill 999. So join me with that. I'll be putting out information on that as well. So, but it's time for me to get out of here. I don't went way over my time. Went way over my time. We're an hour, 10, 20 minutes. And my apologies, but we'll see you on Thursday night. Until then, you guys be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I am out of here.